Welcome. Don't we live in extraordinary times? I'm Skip Ward from Fort Hays State University. There is my email address for anyone that wants to follow up with questions. For background, this presentation was based on a paper I presented in Penang this past Christmas. There I am squatting here. Here's the paper. As you can see, the tool for research was journaling. And while it was for business communication, for College of Business students, only one business student applied, accounting. The others came across from different areas, including a 40-year-old farmer studying ag education, living in Nebraska and an hour and 40-minute drive away. I was able to use unique opportunities I must admit most other people can't have. I used people that I met during these 3 bullet points. And this one is my life best buddy, Neo, who just recently became a monk for 7 days. You can imagine the information he could provide students. This is how long we've known each other. There he is, and I know his entire family. Unique, of course, is Baibua. She speaks in English, Thai, and Martian, which is nobody understands her. And you'll see I have videos of her in the course. And people I met in 1972 when I dropped out, worked, and visited a Thai buddy in Thailand. Or a fellow that I worked with in Indonesia and worked for his father in Jakarta in the oil business and happened to videotape him in an interview in a car going to the airport. Also unique was our communication through the Thai texting system called Line. People weren't using email, so I had to adapt. I was texting these 3 people, Neo, his brother Kao, a colonel, which is very helpful in a nation run by the military, and the guy I went to visit as an undergraduate who now owns a soap factory. So here is the course that was developed. And I want to share my ideas as some best practices. You gotta have a pre-orientation course, a pre-departure orientation course. I don't think an hour briefing is enough. I argue for a credit hour course. Here are the modules that we covered. What I'd like to stress here is that the business communication theory and practice was tied directly to objectives in BCom courses that I teach. And this one was tied directly to objectives in courses that my colleague who would be going would teach in marketing. These are the 3 things I would like to focus on because I think they would provide the most value to you. Now, that welcome aboard has these items. And because I videotaped, and that will be explained later. Let's look at what was on the pre-departure checklist. I'm not going to read it to you. But you got to know your students. When I was leaving on one of my vacations to Thailand, my boss said, "Skip, remember that many of these students have never been in an airplane or have flown internationally. Pay attention." So these are some of the things that we had in that particular section and the pre-departure course. Of course, this is important if anybody's gone traveling and forgot to tell their companies. And of course, nobody will have been in the massive subway and above ground train systems in Thailand or in the States. Plenty is on YouTube. So let's focus on what is Thailand. What is Thainess? Now, the origin of the idea was a trip I made to the Museum of Thai History, and how we decided to use those interactive displays and apply them. These were the displays and the definition, all about what is Thainess. So let's look at the king. Plenty of stuff on YouTube with the former king who passed away playing the sax, for example. And stuff about the current king, stressing here that if you insult the king, you go to prison. The nation. In Thailand, the nation is basically the military. And there were plenty of videos explaining the military leadership of Thailand. Buddhism. Very interesting. I was able to get video of Bua's students, Bua's class, practicing meditation before class. Or my friend Cal teaching his daughter, Bua, how to pray, teaching him her religion. Let's take a look at another module which is unique, social enterprise. I was able to get access to one of the king's social agricultural enterprises in the mountains of Chiang Mai. It is closed to the public. We would be the first non-Thai group ever allowed. We negotiated and got 5 days at the site with housing and meals. There would be Thai interns at the site where the students could interact with, and students would see an entire ag supply chain, Kansas being a big ag country. What were some of the challenges? Well, I had to get 5 years of photos and images off my iPhone and into Blackboard. I didn't know how to do that. I had to learn how to use Google Images and a tool that's new to me, VidGrid, to get images off and into Blackboard. In communication with the royal property, I had to do everything by line, their texting system. I constantly had to rewrite the letter to the PR person, and the last rewrite came in 3 hours before I left for the airport for a trip to Bangkok. My original contact at the site resigned, and I had to constantly replan it. And the original co-leader of the group dropped out. And I had to deal with discovery of how students can use Wi-Fi. And I solved that. A major challenge was, as you see, I shipped a bunch of stuff from Thailand for the pre-departure course. So here's my office, which I would call a Thai museum. And I collected Thai movie posters. Where'd that idea come from? Again, the museum as interactive display. When these came up, I found the posters for the movie in this display. And they tell a lot about culture. I showed them a copy of a menu from a restaurant so they would know how cheap the food is. And here were some of the student learning activities that we didn't do. We did want to give them a free day in Bangkok and a free day actually in Chiang Mai to do what they want. Here's some more. We wouldn't take them to a temple and just walk around. We would give them a worksheet to discover certain things. We would also take them to, Neo would give them an etiquette dinner in how to eat properly in Thailand. So, that is a summary in less than 10 minutes of how I developed the course, please feel free to zap me an email. I'd be willing to talk to anybody who's thinking about a study abroad experience. Thank you.